Thank you, Kenny. Thanks again for another great job as our MC. We've thanked a lot of people here tonight, but there's one group that I want to thank personally on behalf of the NTRA, the Daily Racing Forum, and the Turf Riders and Broadcasters. And that's each of you for attending tonight, this 40th Annual Eclipse Awards. We appreciate your support. We welcome those who are watching live tonight on TVG. We're glad you're watching as well. And we congratulate the finalists and the winners. You know, a year ago, I stood before you and I told myself I'll never be in a spot like that again in my life with so much anticipation about who the Horse of the Year winner is. But here I am, just 1 year later. We've got 3 brilliant finalists. We've got a record number of votes cast by Eclipse Award voters. And I believe we've got more suspense than ever. With that, let's go to the video, the finalists in the 2010 Horse of the Year.
The finalists for Horse of the Year are Blame, Goldakova,
3 Breeders' Cup wins.
ZENYATTA, Horse of the Year.
The 2010 Horse of the Year, ZENYATTA.
Accepting the Eclipse Award for Horse of the Year, ZENYATTA, are her owners Jerry and Ann Moss. After being runner-up, ZENYATTA for Horse of the Year in 2008 and 2009, the big mare finally captures her greatest prize in 2010. As a 6-year-old, ZENYATTA also becomes the oldest thoroughbred to win Horse of the Year since the 6-year-old Cigar won it in 1996. She is also the first female to win the Gold Trophy since Azeri in 2002. ZENYATTA finished her career with 19 wins in 20 starts, closing out with a near victory in the 2010 Breeders' Cup Classic and retired as the all-time leading female money earner. Once again, congratulations to ZENYATTA, the 2010 Horse of the Year.
Wow, this is overwhelming. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. Thank the writers and the broadcasters, and the turf riders. Oh, boy. And thanks to the Daily Racing Forum. Wow. Thank you. I want to first say what a great honor it has been to be associated with the other 2 finalists. Blame ran an incredible race. He's a wonderful racehorse. And I can only congratulate Seth Hancock on 100 years of service in his family farm, and I only hope him and Miss Joe Sider the most success with Blame as a wonderful sire in the future. And also for the amazing Goldakova, what can we say? And other than we're so happy to see her on the racetrack next year. So I want to congratulate those 2 finalists. Couldn't be with better people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, we've got so many people to be here, and we have if you just give me a little time. Eric Kronfeld, who's a gentleman I've spent a little time in the music industry with, and we've had our differences of opinion over the years, and I found out when we were trying to buy this mare that Eric actually owned her and bred our horse, and I want to introduce Eric Kronfeld, the breeder of ZENYATTA. Thank him from the bottom of our hearts. He's done an amazing job, just incredible. And Don Robinson of Winterquarters Farm, the man who foaled and raised ZENYATTA, is here. I want to thank him as well. Of course, you're all familiar with David Ingordo, the man who pointed us out to ZENYATTA and at the Keeneland sale in September of '05. David, a charter member of Team ZENYATTA. I knew him in short pants, I could say that honestly. He doesn't wear them anymore, thank God, but he did wear them then. Anyway. Dottie Ingordo Sheriff's our racing manager for more than 25 years. You're very well familiar with Dottie, and she's been looking over us, and she's brilliant, fantastic, and sometimes very funny. So I just want to thank Dottie for all she's done for us, and to arrive at Horse of the Year is really something, Dottie. I mean, that's really something. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. What was that, sir? Oh, I think she's pretty happy at Lane's End right now. Thank you very much. I just want to acknowledge the presence of Jeannie Mayberry, April Mayberry. They have a farm in Florida. That's where ZENYATTA went after we purchased her at the yearling sale.
At Plumley.
At Mr. Plumley's farm. You've met Mr. Plumley, great gentleman. And they're the ones that said that, I think they called David and said, David, we've got this filly here, and you better get a good name for her. And I said, why? He says, well, you've either got one very fast horse or a lot of slow ones, let me tell you, because she makes up 2 strides for every one she takes. So let's get a good name for her. And David told us that, and we did get a good name for her. You know, we reached into our music connection book, and we've been very lucky with the names of from a musical group, The Police, and Sting and his family. We've keep going back and forth there, and he's just been amazing. And I just thank the fact that this came out of a very successful album called ZENYATTA Mondata that was produced by Sting and Stuart and Andy, and we can't thank them enough. They've been great friends and great supporters. By the way, in the music business, I wouldn't be here today without my great partner and brother, Herb Alpert. He's helped make me everything I've ever wanted to do. Thank you, Herbie and Lonnie, if you're watching. I love you. Thank you. Andy and I love you. Thank you. John Sheriffs, I can't say enough about John. And all the people at his barn have been just absolutely marvelous. There's not a bad vibe in the house. Everybody's been very helpful, very generous with their time. Everybody's been amazing. And John has been just incredible the way he's trained this horse for 1.5 years, as you know, before she stepped foot on the racetrack, and in her late 3-year-old year. Can't say enough about John Sheriffs, and I thank God he gave ZENYATTA to him.
Yes.
We were lucky enough to get Mike Smith to ride ZENYATTA for us when we took her to Oaklawn the first time to run in the Apple Blossom. Our original jockey, David Flores, had to take off of her because he had a derby mount, what he thought was going to be a derby mount, and a long-standing commitment. That was David Flores, who rode her beautifully for 3 races. And Mikey stepped up and ran just an amazing race with ZENYATTA in that Apple Blossom. She beat the then champion Ginger Punch in a beautiful race. And we were lucky that day at Oaklawn to win with a horse named Tiago, who so we really had, needless to say, a huge day at Oaklawn, and we've always loved that track and the people, and want to thank Mr. Sella as well for his hospitality and his good wishes all along the way.
You thought maybe you'd be in. Which one of you?
Oh, so, yeah, well,
No.
yeah, I would like to. There are so many more people to thank, but I don't want to keep you here. There's a party going on. But just in case can you hold on to this for a second?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Just in case we had done something like this, there was a piece that came out. This won't take me very long, but this was in the calendar from a farm called Tranquility Farm. They're one of the great, as there are several great retirement farms for horses, and we all have to really contribute and help these people because they do the most important job of retiring thoroughbred horses once they're finished at the racetrack. And she wrote a piece, and it's in the calendar, and I clipped it out. And this is written by Priscilla Clark, who's the president of Tranquility Farm, and it just said, if you love thoroughbred horses, you go through life hoping that you can just see one more in whose presence the clouds fall away to reveal the mountaintop. It can take a generation or infinitely longer for such a horse to arrive, a horse that is capable of carrying the human heart. For the last 100 years, we know them all by name, but ZENYATTA brought to us a beauty that was a tonic for the soul. She allowed us to believe in the impossible, and it was the light in her being as much as the thrill of her races that got us dancing. ZENYATTA was transformative. Thank you, Priscilla, for lending us this. Thank you, ZENYATTA. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so much. Tonight, I believe the #1 song off ZENYATTA Mandata was Don't Stand So Close to Me, right, Jerry?
Right.
So I'm sure they'll be playing that at the after party at Live. Congratulations to all of you. God bless you. Good luck, safe racing, and we'll see you next year. Good night, everyone. So happy for you.
You have been watching live coverage of the 40th Annual Eclipse Awards from the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach, Florida, right here on America's Horse Racing Network, TVG. Welcome to our studios in Los Angeles. I'm Todd Schrupp, alongside Simon Bray. So they head off to the nightclub Live for the after party. Yep. This is our after party to analyze exactly what took place here tonight. So much talk about last year in the Horse of the Year category that there could possibly be a dead heat between Rachel Alexandra and ZENYATTA. It did turn out to be that way. Nearly 30 votes would separate those two. But this year was actually a little bit closer. Let's take a look. First place votes going to ZENYATTA in the Horse of the Year category, 128. Second place, Blame, 102. Goldakova finishes in third with 5. Here's the ones I never quite understand. Abstain 1, no vote 2.
I don't understand the no vote.
Yeah.
That's a discussion for another day. But yeah, it was fairly close. I mean, 26 votes separated the big two there. And ZENYATTA gets it. A rounding reception in there. Seth Hancock, unfortunately, didn't look too happy. You know, he's old school. He thinks things should be decided on the racetrack. And when you look at people who have been in the industry a long time, that's probably what they think. But no disgrace about Blame. He picked up Alder Male.
It was an emotional moment as Team ZENYATTA accepted the award, and they are with Christina Olivares right now.
It's absolutely an emotional moment and still is. The tears flowing for everyone back here. I'm joined by all the connections of Team ZENYATTA. John, I'll start with you first. It's time that we hear from you to talk about this great race mare. Are you just so pleased with the validation she gets tonight to take home that award?
You know, I just can't tell you how excited I am and how happy I am about it, because ZENYATTA's meant so much. And, you know, she's like the miracle. You know, I wanted to say how wonderful thoroughbred horses are, and ZENYATTA's a miracle.
Absolutely. And Dottie, behind every great trainer is an incredible wife, and behind every great racing group manager, or is a racing manager behind a group like this. So the job that you've done, I feel like we haven't recognized you quite enough. Congratulations on everything. And how has he been holding up through these last couple of years?
He's held up unbelievably well. I've been very proud of him because it's taken a lot, and he's really done well. And I can't say enough Bran and Jerry and everyone in the team, all the fans, all the people. I'm so happy for them, and I'm very happy for Zenyatta. It's a really big thing for her. I said to John, if she gets this, it's like the diamond exclamation point after her fabulous name.
It is absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the tears hit right away as soon as they said her name. Did you think when you came into the room today that you'd be standing up here at the end of the night after having not been up here at the end the last couple of years?
You always hope. You know, we always hope. You know, we hoped last year and the year before as well, and we're just so happy. You know, she's such a gift, and Dottie's given her voice now. You know, she's speaking for her, and it's a wonderful thing because she does lift spirits and she fills hearts with joy and love and she's from a positive future I like very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everything over the last few years. Are you kidding? Mike, you've been involved with some Horse of the Year campaigns before, and I know how much pride you've had with Zenyatta over the last few years. I mean, to stand up here this afternoon or this evening must have been so special for you.
It makes it all okay. You know, after getting beat, that's the last time. Just makes everything okay. You know, just like her, she never had no quit in her. She never stopped trying, and neither did we. And we finally got it, man. She did it for us. Makes everything okay now. I'm fine.
I'm glad to see the smile on your face. And we have to ask Mr. Moss one last question. I was reading online. I know you said we came here tonight to win.
Right.
You came here to win, and you were going home a winner. How does it feel?
We want to think positive, and you know, we believed in her. Obviously, we continue to believe in her. She's 1 in a million, and we're just so thrilled for her. And I think we can't wait to tell her. You know.
Yeah. She seems pretty happy at Lane's End.
She's having a good time. You know, she's got a couple of buddies now, and she's doing with the cold really well. And she's still got her dapples, though. They're still showing through the coat that she's growing, and she seems very happy at Lane's End, and we're very happy for her.
And have we had a decision yet as far as who she'll be bred to? Still thinking?
In about a week, we'll let you know. I mean, you'll be among the first.
Well, congratulations to you all. Enjoy this trophy.
To get her approval first.
Yeah, we'll tell her. We'll talk to her about it. Can I say one thing for the fans? Please, everything. We can't thank you enough. And just remember one thing: we did it. And thank you for being part of that way.
Congratulations, you guys.
Every one of those people.
Enjoy the evening. The votes were very close, guys. 128 to 102. Team Zenyatta going home with the most important hardware of the night.
So after 3 years trying, and it really started out in California in her first attempt when they honored the best of 2008. She finished second that year to Curlin. Then they went to Florida, and they lost in 2009 to, well, again, a great champion, Rachel Alexandra. But finally, Zenyatta is there with more votes as Horse of the Year in 2010 over Blame. A lot of things that strike me about this. First of all, we have seen Mr. Moss speak on behalf of him and Mrs. Moss because she gets so emotional and usually gets choked up. But this time around, Mr. Moss was getting choked up when he read that quote from Priscilla Clark out of Tranquility Farm.
Yeah, it was. It was certainly a touching moment, and he wanted to get that out there. And he's obviously, you know, paying close attention. The fact that he cut that out and brought it with him. And then you could see his reaction there when the award was announced. He's a very stoic individual.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell he's happy when he wins a race. But when that moment was announced, you saw in that clip we just showed there, he looked like he was shocked a little bit. You know, he might have expected Blame to get more votes, but he's not happy nonetheless. And Zenyatta, she'll go down in history as, you know, we've talked about Horse of the Decade, or where finally she becomes the 11th filly to become Horse of the Year.
Well, talk about that a little bit more, because once the announcement was made, I looked out the window. There was no double rainbow. There weren't, you know, birds flying across the, you know, Holden open up in the earth or anything. What does it do for her legacy to now have this Horse of the Year award?
Well, I think it just absolutely seals it. I mean, is it going to help? There was an article in the Daily Racing Form a couple of weeks ago. Do these Eclipse Awards help horses' breeding value later on? I don't think so.
Right.
It's within the industry, and it's something that we can look back on. This is a mark in her legacy. It's not so much that she got it now. It's when we look back 20, 30, 40 years down the line, we can look back and say she was Horse of the Year. The first one back in 1899, Imp. I don't know anything about Imp, but I assume she's a good horse because she became Horse of the Year that year. So I think when we look back in years to come, it's really going to have more of an impact.
What about the immediate impact? There was so much talk that if you give Horse of the Year to ZENYATTA, it's going to put racing back on the front page for the immediate time afterwards, because the rest of the media outlets are going to pick it up, the mainstream media outlets.
I think that might have happened last year had she stayed in training. I mean, it's probably going to get picked up by the mainstream media, and it might appear in some major digests or newspapers for the foreseeable future, maybe a couple of days. But if she'd stayed in training, if she'd won this award last year, I think it would have more impact with her being on the racetrack trying to defend that title.
Many people said while there was some drama around Horse of the Year that it could go either way. Most of the other categories were pretty clear, and it played out that way the entire night.
It certainly did. I mean, there were 17 categories, and I thought those 17 horses that won were going to be winners.
Well, getting an Eclipse Award tonight for maybe not the category that they completely wanted. They wanted to be their Horse of the Year. Al Stahl Jr. back with Christina Olivares.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, Al, you were gracious before the show to speak with us and seemed like a true sportsman about everything tonight. And are you still a true sportsman going home and proud of your horse and what he did?
Well, we're not going home right now. We're going to go across to live and have a good time. Yeah, there's no disgrace running second to, or finishing second to Vote to ZENYATTA. It's not a surprise. The Mosses did a tremendous job of bringing her back for a third year to be a finalist, and they were rewarded.
And how about the whole team overall? How are they dealing and coping with everything that we've had going on here tonight? Because Blame has been recognized in quite a few categories and had their chance to speak on his behalf as well.
Well, yeah, I'll speak for the team. They're seasoned veterans, and we haven't been through this before. Nobody's been through this before, but we're going to, do the same thing we always do. Calabria will keep breeding top horses. Hopefully I can keep training for them, and we'll leave for New Orleans tomorrow. We'll be at work Wednesday morning, and everything will be the same.
We can look forward to his progeny in a few years on it.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to it very much so.
All right, Al, thank you very much, and congratulations. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, Al alluded to it at the beginning of the night. It's hard to get disappointed when you kind of know you're going to get an Eclipse Award for sure, and that was for older male. And by the way, he was one of the most dominant as far as category winners tonight. Yeah, absolutely. And so it pretty much played out the way he thought, so you can't be disappointed when you know what's coming, and that's what happened.
No, always in the back of his mind he knew. He said earlier this week that he knew he was going to walk out of there with one Eclipse Award, him and Claiborne Farm with older male, but there's no disgrace in finishing or runner-up to ZENYATTA. I mean, it's just, it just picked a bad year for Blame.
And the residual effect that you talked about is the fact that Al Stahl Jr., although we know him well in the industry, he's getting the national recognition he indeed deserves. Christina, you did a phenomenal job, first of all evening long, so congratulations on that. Thank you for representing TVG. But your final thoughts over this 2010 season and now how it's been honored.
Yeah, I mean, just such an exciting night here at the Fontainebleau, guys. I mean, I can't tell you, really, no one had any clue as we went into that final moment before they announced who would be Horse of the Year. It could have gone either way, and wonderful to hear from the connections of ZENYATTA. They've been so gracious to us at TVG throughout the last 3 years. I mean, this year with her might not have been. We might not have seen her, and I'm just so happy that they brought her back to race again and created those new fans as we've been talking about. And Al Stahl and the entire connections of Blame, hats off to them as well for a fantastic campaign. What a great trainer Al Stahl is, and what a wonderful sire they have now at Claiborne to go forward through 2011. Really happy for some of the human connections as well. I mean, our apprentice jockey was wonderful, and to see Ramon Dominguez get his Eclipse Award was also very rewarding here, guys. We'll send it back to you. That's going to do it for me here at the Fontainebleau. You can wrap up the show back home.
And so another season has been recognized in the world of thoroughbred racing, and 2010 will now truly be remembered as the year of ZENYATTA. The final start of